Listen, it's time to level up. If you have depression, you should listen to the rest of this. If you know someone who is depressed, you should listen to the rest of this. If you think you don't know either of those people, you're definitely wrong. Because it is much more common than you think. It is the actual, I don't like to call it a disease. It is the actual thing. Let's just call it the thing that it makes us feel like we're separate, different, and very unique. Though we are special, it is not because of that. So maybe someone sent this to you. So that's what I meant by we need to level up, is like, okay, so if you hear something that you find relatable, great, now you're related to me, but then let's get related to more people. With the intention being, I believe, if we all felt more related, more connected, like all of us, not just like you because you know me, because you come to my class or something. We want to just keep getting related to people that we wouldn't run across. We're not going to encounter because of our hobbies, our jobs, or our location on the planet. You know what I mean? If we could get related to people in other countries that we don't even see. And I don't mean just like social media stalking like some fucking Russian chick. Not like that. I mean like getting related to humankind. There would be so much less conflict and feeling of separateness. We're not separate. It's like humans are just like birds, you know? Not all the birds are the same kind of bird, but they're all birds together. That's like the flashcard or the category that they're under in the, oh my God, we always talk about animals, and I say we very frequently as if you're just sitting right here. That's what I'm imagining. Yeah, you in your seat, or you doing whatever it is that you're doing while you're listening to this. I imagine you. I'm just talking to you. Who else am I talking to? Anyway, depression. So today is a coaching day, which means I do the workout before I coach it, like right before I coach it, and then I get to do it and experience it, and then I give like my 2 cents. Hold on. You know how I feel about this. Yeah, then I'll give my 2 cents on it, and I feel like I'm not fit. Like literally everything is so hard or so much more taxing than it used to be. I feel like I was on this upward trajectory of like pretty good. Now all of a sudden that same pretty good is like, it's down, it got lower and it's harder. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I'm like, what happened to David Goggins? Is it because I'm not listening to his book over and over again? No, I was fucking tough before that. And now I feel like this weak little bitch. So anyway, I did the workout, then I coached it, and then afterwards, one of the athletes, my friend Matt, said, asked me about it, and I said like how I found it pretty difficult, or I don't know, kind of sucked or whatever. And he said, I think you're being too hard on yourself. And I said, maybe I'm not being hard enough. Come with me, if you will. I think oftentimes, especially in my main bitch is yoga, right? We preach much more like forgiveness, you know? Forgiveness and compassion and patience with yourself and with other people, because a lot of times people go to yoga because they don't show themselves any sort of compassion, and they know that it's a compassionate practice to learn how to live. It's a whole lifestyle, you know? Yoga's a lifestyle, just like CrossFit is a lifestyle, just like fucking NASCAR is a lifestyle, just like being a fireman is a lifestyle, just like being, I don't know, an optometrist, is that a lifestyle? Where'd that come from? I just wanted something totally different. Anyway. Oh, like a Dungeons and Dragons, like what's that called? RPG, role-playing game. People, that's a whole culture. culture is just, it's like the pulse of a group of people. Perhaps because I have not been able to go to other cultures for a bit because of, you know, the pandemic, and then on account of I'm broke. I've gotten much more specific about my own culture, the people that I am with. Oh my God, we were going to talk about depression, but that's really, it relates right to the culture. So anyway, he said, yes, maybe you're being too hard on yourself. And I said, maybe I'm not being hard enough. Is because, like, how many fucking breaks will I give myself before I just need to be like, suck it up, Padula, and move? You know, because it's not gonna, what even is that? It sounds like one of the really big military planes. There's God, it sounds like it's gonna land in the backyard. Scotia, Glenville. There's an Air Force base. I went there to get something once, an ID, or I thought I was gonna get an ID. I don't know, because the military, they all work together. Well, because I have a what's it called? Just a military ID, because I was married to Dan, and now I get to have that forever. You just keep renewing it, which just gives me permission to, like, go on base. And you know what? I don't fucking want to go on base. What am I gonna do there? I go up there once, I don't know, a year to go to the bank. Anyway. Oh yes, depression. So, culture of the people, Jim, maybe you're not being hard enough on yourself. Yeah, so it just really had me thinking, like, am I being too soft on myself? Do I need to give myself a fucking kick in the ass? Because I'm, like, down here and I don't like it. And it's not just, like, my attitude. I'm really noticing, and maybe this is because I'm honing in more on my culture, and my immediate culture is myself, like my household. Ooh, that's pretty good. We become immersed in other cultures, or the culture that we're in, but not necessarily always the culture right here. Like, you know, you take a throat culture, it's only yours. Yeah, so we had the COVID culture, that's not what they call it. But they do it up here, Indian brain. It really wasn't that bad, just made me feel like I had to sneeze. Anyway, the culture of ourselves. And my culture right now is just my personal one, it's in a depression that is not just like my attitude and my experience, it's like other things too that I wouldn't think. Like, I can't hear as well. I find myself just keep saying, what? I also feel like everyone is turning around and then speaking to me. I notice, like, it's at the gym, it's at yoga, like, everyone's fucking walking away and talking. Either talk to me or walk away. Do one of the two. Because I'm not, in my intention is not to just pacify you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to say something and it's worth, make what you're saying worth saying and worth standing still for, like worth being heard. Okay, let's try to make that better, more English. If you're saying something meaningful, which hopefully you are because you're speaking, stand in a meaningful way, be heard in a meaningful way. Yeah, or just don't fucking say anything. That's me. Oh, did you see that? Yo, I just saw that. That is me explaining why my hearing loss is your fucking fault. Because consciously when I'm like, no, like, it's all my fault. Take responsibility. The subconscious part of me is like, nah, fuck you, I just want to be right over here. Even if it means I'm miserable. So I'm blaming, like, in trying to take ownership of, like, I feel depressed, my hearing has changed. I blame the hearing on other people. But no, I feel like maybe I just plucked, like, a little life lesson out of there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here's a better meaning than, you know, stop walking away from it because I can't hear you. It's also my vision. I feel like my vision is worse. And my attention span is fucking terrible. Which I am aware of that right now, so I'm trying to do things right when I think of it, or just be very honest and ask for reminders from people. Yeah, it's really good to be honest. Listen up. If you are someone or you're in a scenario where you are supposed to know the other person and you don't know their name, just ask. Be like, hey, help me. Remind me your name. That's it. Remind me your name you are telling them that you have met before and that they already told you. You've forgotten what that is, but you find their name worth being reminded of. It's like, I see you, I remember you, help me build this connection. Seriously, remind me your name. Not just like, oh, it's such a bad memory, I'm so blah, blah, blah. Because when you explain yourself like that, when you just say that you have a bad memory, then it's like, oh, I guess I wasn't memorable. When you say, remind me your name, it's, I remember you, just not the details of what people call your face. Because does that matter? Okay. Memory loss, as we have discussed before, it comes from all different things, but trauma can certainly affect your memory and make it worse. I don't know if that is a form of protection. Like, bad things are over there, you probably shouldn't remember that. And sometimes I recognize how much my memory my loss of memory has saved me. Like, I see it as like some guardian angel looking out for me, like, thanks man, really. Thanks for wiping that one out. Like the Men in Black thing, the laser thing. I don't know that I ever watched that movie from start to finish. I'm tired. So it's not, hearing and vision loss. But there's like in the attention span, but the mental fog is like really thick. Like it's humid in here, in my brain. You know how like when it's humid, especially when you're in the gym, sometimes the studio, it's really hot and you're sweaty and you're like working hard. You're like, it feels like I can't saturate my lungs. That's how it feels in my brain. Like it's like working so hard, it's getting steamy in there, and I'm getting way less accomplished. And so these things don't seem obvious to me. Like if somebody kept asking me to repeat myself because they couldn't hear me, I would think they had a hearing problem. I wouldn't be like, oh, I wonder if they're going through a spell of depression, or the not sleeping, or sleeping forever and it not being good enough. Like my sleep now, my deep sleep is off. It's been off. Even though sometimes like yesterday I slept for like 9 hours. I usually get like 6 something. That's not enough. Which exacerbates the depression. The depression makes me more tired. And that, like that, cycle. Those are the obvious things, when someone's like, they seem tired all the time. Pete Davidson said it. It was on an episode of Saturday Night Live. I thought it was really cool of him to talk about. He has bad anxiety and was talking, it was like they're making it was on Weekend Update. It was like a joke about how, things are so great now that, the restrictions have been lifted, and how he's like, actually, for someone who has social anxiety, now instead of just worrying about what everyone thinks of me, I'm wondering what everyone thinks of me and if I'm going to die or something like that. Like it was, he was trying to connect the dots. Those things are easy symptoms to point to and be like, oh, that's what the mental thing is. We all have something or lots of things. You don't come out of the womb or of the life experience thus far without taking at least 1 or 2 marbles from the mental illness jars. But then, like I was talking about in the one about, I feel like I was talking about medication. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Medication, we have decided that we don't like to feel sad or anxious or depressed, even though the culture of the species, certainly the country that you're in, or even the state that you're in, but you know, the country's kind of the overall feel, and then the world at large, we are just exacerbating our conditions. You know, we are exacerbating and creating more reason for ourselves to be depressed, anxious, with the like ADD culture of like switch, this thought, this. Now we can just keep focusing on new terrible things too. Everything's short to keep your attention. Look over here, look over here, look over here. And we're so used to that we can't just fucking be quiet. That's why yoga and other experiences, but you know, yoga's the thing I talk about the most, have such a big impact on people. Is like it starts to get quiet. When it gets quiet, then like these things come up, and that sounds like woo-woo magic shit. I don't know. That's just what has happened for me and a majority of the people I have had the pleasure of teaching. Ooh. So anyway, I want to get this across. I was feeling, let's bring it back to, I was at the gym today and everything felt really hard. It's felt really hard for quite a while. Let's say, I don't know, a month, 2 months, couple months. I feel like, what even happened? Did I just stop working out? Are my muscles, are they even there anymore? I'm not sure. I have total body dysmorphia, so I can't see. Like, I cannot fucking see what I look like. Anyway, what? Everything's really heavy. But then I realized it's like I'm wearing the depression vest. It's just like a weight vest. And the depression vest adds on actual body mass, so that weighs more too. So I'm moving through this fog with my hearing dulled, my vision blurred, my body being weighed down. That same dumbbell, barbell, movement, box jump, it's using a completely different body to do anything with it. Because the non-depressed body is light and free and quick and can breathe. And the effort of the workout is just the workout. It's not the effort of being anywhere alive. That sounds bad. What I mean to say is it really touches every single molecule of my experience. It's like picking up this water bottle with depression versus picking it up without depression. It's lighter. There's less of a thought process. There's less notice of intricate details. That's why the fuck I'm talking so much. How do I have so many things to talk about? Sure, it started out with like, I used to talk to people. You know, it was like Aaron, and then it was Chris, and it still is, but he's just like never here anymore. So you don't get into like philosophical conversation when it's short periods of time. Anyway, I'm talking so much because I'm being so curious, because I'm looking for the light. Something good. Where is it? Where is it? I'm like, you know, at first, you ever see Spaceballs? This is the only part of the movie I remember. Is when they combed the beach. They were like looking for something or someone. So they had these big giant, you know, like house or vehicle sized combs. They were combing the sand. Sometimes that's all you have to do is like, whoop, here's something good. Found it. And then other times it's like a regular sized comb. And then other times, so there's a flea comb, which one would think would be the finest comb. Well, nope, there's the lice comb. Lice comb. I was putting an L in there. That motherfucker. And I'm like going through and I'm just looking for one little egg. And I find it. But then I gotta... What is it? We're looking for a total infestation here. If you said, hey, I want you to tell a story where at the end you have me believe that more lice would be better than less, I'd be like, I don't know how I'm going to tell that story. This is why I don't theme things. I come with a general topic. Like, I'll write a sentence. I have a sentence in my head or a word in my head or nothing. Yeah, I like this. This is fun. Yo, you gotta see Michael because he's really cute. Do you see him? He's always there. Just, all I do is I come downstairs and then just walk towards the sliding glass door and he's like, okay, here we go. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with people, all of them. Not just your friends, but strangers too. Because you don't know. You don't know what invisible suit they have on. Like, what's their weight vest? How much does that weigh? What else is it affecting? Consider that what people present to you, or what you have decided that they are, is only part of the story. Yeah, it's only part of the story. It's like, they say there's always 3 sides to the story. Like this person's view, and the truth. Like that's how it is with yourself too. Like you might get to know yourself really well, but you can't know yourself fully unless you know yourself with and for other people. Until you've been in lots of different cultures. Bringing it back. Yeah. I don't know. I got lost. Memory loss.